In the walled city of Stonebridge, where the clamor of progress never truly ceased, lived a skilled blacksmith named Thane. Thane was strong, capable, and known throughout the city for the quality of his steel. But Thane harbored a quiet, debilitating secret: the overwhelming weight of inertia. Thane did not lack ambition. He lacked momentum. He had grand plans: to forge a new, stronger type of plowshare, to expand his forge and train apprentices, to build a legacy that would outlast the city walls. Yet, every morning, when the first light touched the soot-stained windows, he was held captive by an unseen force. This force spoke to him in a soft, convincing voice. The day is long, just another hour of rest. The work is hard, and you deserve ease. What difference does one day make? Tomorrow, you will be stronger. This was the voice of the comfortable lie. So Thane would spend his mornings in languid stillness, the heavy hammer lying cold, the coals unlit. He wasn't truly resting. His mind was churning with anxiety over the work undone. He was simply resisting the effort required to start. When he finally forced himself to the anvil late in the day, he would work frantically, fueled by guilt, often making mistakes that required painful correction. The weight of his inaction meant his grand plans remained just that. His forge remained small, his life remained static, overshadowed by the phantom success he knew he was capable of. One day, the master builder of the city commissioned Thane to forge a new, massive gate hinge piece, requiring continuous, precise effort over many days. Thane knew this commission was his chance to break the cycle. He started well, but on the third morning, the comfortable lie returned, stronger than ever. The day was cold, the bed was warm, and the voice whispered, "You worked hard yesterday. You are tired. One day off will restore you." Thane succumbed. He stayed in bed, wrapped in the temporary warmth of surrender. But the warmth turned quickly to shame. That evening, when he returned to the cold, half-finished hinge, he realized the iron had cooled completely, seizing up the half-formed metal. He had not rested. He had allowed the material of his ambition to harden in place. He had to spend the next 2 days reheating, reforming, and undoing the damage of one missed morning. Defeated, Thane took a journey to a small, silent monastery high on the cliffs, seeking advice from the monks who practiced profound discipline. He approached the abbot, a frail old man who spent his days carving intricate wooden reliefs. "Abbot," Thane admitted, his voice hoarse, "my greatest enemy is not weak metal or a bad market. It is the overwhelming pull of stillness, the desire to do nothing. I do not understand why the path of effort is always so heavy." The abbot paused his carving, holding up a small piece of wood. "Thane, the problem is not that you desire stillness. True rest is sacred. The problem is that you mistake resistance for rest." "How are they different?" Thane asked. "Rest," the abbot explained, "is the deliberate cessation of effort, taken after a period of productive work. It is what recharges your hammer. It is what fills the well. It is peace. But resistance, the laziness you feel, is the heavy blanket you pull over your anxiety. It is not true stillness. It is the fear of the first move. It is the avoidance of the effort required to transition from one state to the next." The abbot then showed Thane his carving knife. "Look at this tool. To carve this intricate pattern, I must apply consistent, deliberate pressure against the grain of the wood. If I stop, even for an hour, the wood does not wait. It stays hard. And the effort required to restart the carving is always greater than the effort required to simply continue." The abbot's voice grew firm. "Laziness is not the desire for ease. It is the compounding of friction. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to begin. The hardest part of the journey is not the 1,000th step, is the first." Thane realized the truth. His problem was not a lack of energy, but a failure to respect the principle of momentum. He returned to Stonebridge. He didn't promise himself a lifetime of unrelenting work. He made one small, ordinary change. He would not allow himself to even think about the full day's labor. He only had to promise to light the coals. That was it. Lighting the coals was an ordinary 5-minute task. It was small, it was easy. But once the coals were glowing once, the forge was literally warming up. The effort required to pick up the hammer became infinitesimally smaller than the effort required to retreat. The momentum had begun. He found that by winning the tiny battle of the first 5 minutes, he almost always won the entire day. Thane never completely banished the whisper of the comfortable lie, but he learned to recognize it as resistance, not rest. He learned that the antidote to resistance is not an iron will, but a small, consistent action. Your dreams are waiting, just like Thane's half-formed steel, but they are hardening in the cold of your inaction. Stop trying to lift the entire day's weight at once. Simply promise yourself the smallest, most essential action. Light the coals, put on the shoes, open the book. Win the first 5 minutes, and you will find that the heaviest weight you carried was not the work itself, but the fear of beginning. Break the inertia, and your life will flow with the unstoppable power of momentum.